Have you got a colleague or a team member who thinks you're a bit stupid and somehow always lets you know it? Who tries to manage people like chess pieces to be moved around as they see fit until it's time to go back in the box? If this makes things difficult at work, then you might have a dark strategist on your team. And if you're not careful, you might also be in the dark about the problems they can cause. Demotivating and disempowering people, being hostile to and rejecting any innovation or improvement that they didn't think of, unexpectedly failing to deliver on something critically important. In this video and the following segments, I'll help leaders and HR professionals to figure out what to do if you've got a dark strategist on your team. I'll talk about how to spot them, what to look out for, and the problems they cause. I'll talk about how to lead a dark strategist, which is challenging because they're often secretive and manipulative and are always 2 steps ahead. And if you want to go further and transform a dark strategist from that solitary figure maneuvering in the background into a powerful, collaborative leader, I'll show you how to do that too. I'm Nick Robinson, and I'm an executive coach and the author of The 9 Types of Difficult People, published by Pearson. I've been coaching for over 25 years, and I specialise in helping difficult individuals and teams to be effective and feel good about their work. Of course, a dark strategist isn't really trying to be difficult, even though it can often feel that way. They're reacting to pressure by disconnecting, because isolating themselves is how they think things through and when they feel at their best. And they see your organisation as a system, a web of processes and information, which is why they often ignore the individual people without whom nothing would get done, and why they tend to overlook the specific tasks and deliverables that really count. Leading a dark strategist is a test of your ability to speak their language and role model a more inclusive, more concrete form of leadership. If you can do that, you'll have someone who brings a unique and insightful perspective and who can inspire and deliver for your business. In the next segment, I'll talk about how to spot a dark strategist, what to look out for, and the problems you need to be aware of so that you can begin to make a difference. How can you be sure that you've got a dark strategist on your team? That's the person who makes you feel stupid because you don't understand things, or who tries to manipulate people like chess pieces, moving them around in the dark. A dark strategist is driven by 2 related behaviours, which are their biggest strengths, but can also be their downfall. Here's how you can spot those drivers in action and the fallout they cause. Driver 1 is their search for the perfect plan, the strategy that will solve everything. And in their search for that perfect plan, they'll want to work alone, being cold and aloof and withdrawn. Driver 2 is their insight into how organisations are systems, a web of interconnected processes and information flows. These insights come fast and deep to a dark strategist, but make them impatient and distrustful of anybody who doesn't think the same way. So what about the fallout these drivers can cause when things aren't going well? First, even if they don't say it out loud, you'll know that they think you're a bit stupid and can't be trusted because you don't understand how everything fits together. Instead, they'll try to manipulate or even bully people into doing their bidding, to use them like chess pieces and then put them back into the box. This makes the people around them feel highly demotivated and disempowered and leads to lower productivity and lower quality. Second, the dark strategist will be rejecting any ideas or innovations that they didn't think of, or which don't fit their grand master plan. To support this, they'll restrict the flow of information, hoovering it up but never sharing it out, and they'll take key choices without consultation. This means that quick and practical innovations or improvements are not happening, leading to stagnation or even reversals of fortune. Third, they've unexpectedly failed to deliver on something critical. You thought they had it handled and had a great solution in mind, but their solitary grand planning and their mistrust of other people meant they hadn't built the great relationships that are actually what get things done. And their focus on systems meant they hadn't taken practical and incremental steps that test things out and give valuable feedback about whether we're on the right track. Spotting a dark strategist's behaviours and their fallout is a crucial first step towards dealing with them. In the next segment, I'll share the best ways to lead a dark strategist so you can avoid those problems and make the most of their potential. Leading a dark strategist can be tricky. They're the person who makes you feel stupid because you don't see things like they do, or who tries to move people around like chess pieces. And their behaviours will cause fallout. People demotivated and disempowered so that productivity and quality takes a hit. Innovations and improvements rejected because they didn't think of them first. Unexpected failures to deliver because they've not built good relationships or not taken action. So in this segment, I'll share my top tactics for leading a dark strategist so that you can keep them on track and make the most of their strengths. Tactic 1 is to talk their language. You'll have noticed how they often talk about systems and processes, or how they use diagrams and flowcharts, or how they like textbook business models. You can adopt some of this style of thinking and speaking to really connect with and influence them. 2 is to show them how to tackle things together. They want to go off and look for the perfect solution on their own, but there are times when working with others gets a much better and more practical answer, and it means that other people are already on board with the project. Whenever you can, role model this kind of collaborative approach for them. Tactic 3 is to prove that done is better than perfect. Dark strategists get stuck looking for the perfect answer, so you might want to show them what it looks like to fall forwards instead. Help them experiment with small, actionable steps that provide valuable feedback and learning. Tactic 4 is to show them that people are not chess pieces. Role model for them how you take a more personal approach, how you make people feel listened to and get the most out of their contribution. And show them how you make sure that the whole team is pulling together. I'm Nick Robinson, and I'm an executive coach and the author of The 9 Types of Difficult People, published by Pearson. I've been coaching for over 25 years, and I specialise in helping difficult individuals and teams to be effective and feel good about their work. As a leader, dealing with a dark strategist and the fallout they can cause requires you to speak their language and to role model a different style of working. In the next segment, I'll show how leaders and HR professionals can go even further and help a dark strategist become someone with a unique insight and who can consistently deliver alongside others. Coaching and developing a dark strategist needs a smart approach. They're the person who thinks you and others are a bit stupid because you don't share their systems view, who demotivates and disempowers other people by treating them like chess pieces, who fails to deliver because they've overlooked a crucial detail. But if you can develop them, there's lots of benefits. At their best, a dark strategist is an insightful leader. They see how all the parts mesh together and have great skills in getting things done and bringing people with them. Development tip 1 is to help them be more concrete. With their systems view of an organisation, a dark strategist tends to abstract things too far. They can miss that there are real people and tasks involved. Focus their attention on this by asking, which key people are involved in their project? What's the tangible next step they need to deliver? Under pressure, a dark strategist likes to isolate themselves because this is how they prefer to think things through. So development tip 2 is just to raise their awareness of this habit so they can choose when to disconnect and when not to. Are they aware of this pattern? What must that disconnection look and feel like to other people? What are the costs of isolating themselves? Development tips 3 and 4 build on the leadership tactics that I talked about previously. Tip 3 is to see people as people and not chess pieces. The trick for dark strategists to learn is that they can cope with other people's needs and preferences without resorting to manipulating them. They need to experience this for themselves to learn it. So set them a challenge about getting stuck in alongside others on a project instead of from a distance. Tip 4 is that done is better than perfect. Again, you'll need to point them at a real example. What's the next concrete deliverable? And what will they learn from it? Which actual real people are involved? And how will they communicate with those people? If you follow my approach, you can develop a dark strategist away from looking down on and manipulating others and towards that insightful, all-round leadership. It takes some smart, practical thinking on your part, but it can really pay off. I'm Nick Robinson, executive coach and author of The 9 Types of Difficult People. If you found this useful, please like and follow for more insights on turning challenging dynamics into great working relationships.